1. Which of the following best describes the primary responsibility of a product owner in Scrum? A. Managing the Scrum team's day-to-day tasks. B. Maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the Scrum team. C. Writing code and performing quality assurance. D. Approving the team's budget. 2. How should a product owner prioritize items in the product backlog? A. By selecting items that the development team enjoys working on. B. Based on stakeholder demands without evaluation. C. According to the value delivered to the customer and business goals. D. In the order items were requested. 3. What is the recommended frequency for refining the product backlog? A. Only at the beginning of the project. B. Continuously as new insights and information arise. C. Once per year. D. Only when the Scrum Master requests it. 4. When multiple stakeholders request features simultaneously, what is the product owner's best course of action? A. Implement features in the order requests were received. B. Evaluate value, risk, and dependencies to prioritize backlog items. C. Assign the decision to the Scrum Master. D. Ignore stakeholder requests. 5. How does the product owner ensure that the development team understands the backlog items? A. By providing detailed technical specifications. B. By collaborating during backlog refinement and clarifying acceptance criteria. C. By sending email descriptions of each backlog item. D. By leaving the team to figure it out. 6. Which metric is most valuable for a product owner to track the progress of value delivery? A. Lines of code per sprint. B. Customer satisfaction and business value achieved. C. Number of backlog items completed. D. Hours worked by the team. 7. In Scrum, who decides how much work the development team can commit to in a sprint? A. Product owner. B. Scrum Master. C. Development team. D. Stakeholders. 8. What is the purpose of the sprint review? A. To plan the next sprint in detail. B. To inspect the increment and adapt the product backlog based on feedback. C. To evaluate individual team member performance. D. To issue final approvals for the product. 9. How should the product owner handle changes requested mid-sprint? A. Immediately add them to the current sprint backlog. B. Defer changes to future sprints and update the product backlog accordingly. C. Ignore them until the project ends. D. Force the development team to implement them. 10. Which of the following is a sign that a product owner is effective? A. The team rarely communicates with stakeholders. B. Stakeholders understand and support the product goals, and the backlog is clear and prioritized. C. The product backlog grows without bounds. D. Only the product owner can work with backlog items. 11. Why is transparency important in Scrum from a product owner's perspective? A. To avoid micromanaging the team. B. To ensure that stakeholders have a shared understanding of goals, progress, and risks. C. To document every minor decision. D. To restrict information to executive management. 12. How does a product owner measure product success? A. By checking team attendance and sprint completion. B. By evaluating business value delivered, customer satisfaction, and market impact. C. By the number of features implemented. D. By Scrum Master approval. 13. What is the key benefit of having a single product owner? A. Faster development speed. B. Clear accountability for maximizing product value and prioritization decisions. C. Reduced need for team meetings. D. Avoiding stakeholder involvement. 14. During backlog refinement, which technique can the product owner use to facilitate prioritization? A. Moscow, must have, should have, could have, won't have. B. Assigning tasks to developers. C. Delegating prioritization to the Scrum Master. D. Ignoring dependencies. 15. Which action demonstrates the product owner's role in stakeholder communication? A. Hosting regular reviews and aligning expectations. B. Micromanaging the development team's tasks. C. Only reporting issues when the product is late. D. Writing code for stakeholders. 16. How should a product owner respond to conflicting priorities between business units? A. Implement the first request received. B. Use data, customer value, and organizational goals to make trade-off decisions. C. Allow the Scrum Master to resolve conflicts. D. Execute requests on a rotational basis. 17. What is the relationship between the product backlog and the definition of done? A. No relationship exists. B. The product backlog items must meet the definition of done when completed. C. The product owner decides when items are done. D. Definition of done is only relevant to the Scrum Master. 18. How does a product owner support continuous improvement in the team? A. By controlling the workflow strictly. B. By providing feedback, gathering stakeholder input, and adjusting backlog priorities. C. By avoiding discussions about team performance. D. By focusing only on the next release. 19. Which tool helps a product owner track the value delivered from completed backlog items? A. Gantt chart. B. Burn-up chart, KPIs, and customer feedback. C. Attendance sheet. D. Timesheet. 20. When mentoring a junior product owner, what is most important? Allowing them to make all decisions independently. B. Sharing techniques for backlog prioritization, stakeholder management, and value measurement. It's delegating all responsibilities. D. Limiting their exposure to stakeholders. 21. How can a product owner ensure compliance with regulatory requirements? A. Ignore regulatory constraints to focus on speed. B. Integrate regulatory standards into backlog items and acceptance criteria. C. Ask the development team to handle it without guidance. D. Wait until the final product to review compliance. 22. What is the purpose of a product goal? A. To set micro-tasks for developers. B. To provide a long-term objective for the Scrum team and guide backlog prioritization. C. To replace the product backlog. To detail sprint-level tasks. 23. Which is the most effective way for a product owner to gain stakeholder alignment? A. Hold regular sprint reviews and demonstrate increments. B. Send weekly email updates only. C. Conduct one large meeting at project start. D. Avoid frequent discussions to prevent interruptions. 24. How can a product owner facilitate better decision-making in the team? A. By providing clear priorities, acceptance criteria, and supporting data. B. By micromanaging task assignments. C. By making all technical decisions alone. D. By limiting team autonomy. 25. Why is feedback from end users critical for the product owner? A. It allows the product owner to reduce their workload. B. It informs prioritization, validates assumptions, and ensures product value. C. It is optional and can be ignored. D. It is only relevant at project closure. 26. What is the impact of an unclear product backlog? A. Increased efficiency. B. Confusion in the development team, missed value, and stakeholder frustration. C. Faster delivery. D. Higher team autonomy. 27. How should the product owner handle backlog items that are no longer valuable? A. Keep them to avoid conflict. B. Remove or deprioritize them to focus on high-value items. C. Assign them to the development team anyway. D. Leave them indefinitely. 28. What role does communication play in a product owner's effectiveness? A. Minimal, only required for reporting. B. Central, ensuring stakeholder engagement, team alignment, and transparency. C. Only with senior management. D. Only during sprint planning. 29. How can a product owner leverage metrics for decision making? A. Only to report to management. B. To guide prioritization, evaluate value delivered, and improve backlog management. C. To micromanage the development team. D. To eliminate user feedback. 30. What is the main advantage of involving the product owner in sprint planning? A. To control how the team works. B. To clarify the most valuable items to include in the sprint. C. To assign tasks to developers. D. To extend the sprint duration. 31. When is it appropriate for a product owner to negotiate scope with stakeholders? A. At any time, based on feedback, value, and sprint capacity. B. Never, the backlog is fixed. C. Only after the project is complete. D. Only during annual planning. 32. Which behavior demonstrates effective mentoring of Scrum teams? A. Dictating solutions without explanation. B. Encouraging reflection, sharing experience, and guiding decision-making. C. Assigning blame for mistakes. D. Avoiding involvement in team growth. 33. How does a product owner balance short-term delivery and long-term product vision? A. Focus only on immediate requests. B. Continuously prioritize backlog items based on strategic goals and feedback. C. Delegate vision planning to the Scrum Master. D. Avoid prioritization and let the team decide. 34. A new regulatory requirement impacts several existing product backlog items. What is the product owner's best approach? A. Immediately remove the affected backlog items and halt development. B. Assess the impact, update the backlog items with compliance requirements, and reprioritize accordingly. C. Delegate all regulatory decisions to the Scrum Master. D. Wait until the sprint ends to address compliance.